All right, hey guys, Sam back with you here. We're Thursday, August 9th, kind of midday, and per the polling that we did earlier, I've got up today, this is Icon to Bitcoin, ICX to Bitcoin. I've got the 4-hour here on Binance. Now, this is not unlike much of what we see in the alt space, where we just relentless downtrend. But there's a little more shape to this, so there's some things to learn here. So it would appear that we have so coming down from this high, right? So here's our absolute low. What is this? The December of 2017. That gave us our first big move up. We corrected it in 3. So it looks like we have an ABC into a larger degree A wave. Then we get our 3 wave here. It's not quite to the 50, but it's hard to know what they were using here. So if I just pull from this, get down to that low. That's a little far for a front run. They might have been using something a little bit lower down here. That may be in play. So again, I'm on a 4-hour here. So if I broke that down, that's likely there's a little pivot here that I'm working with here. That may be what they're using here. So we'd be approaching that target down here fairly soon. It's hard to say, right? Either way, from this pivot, we've just gone in this relentless move down here. Look how the Vegas wave has just held it all the way. So for any upside bias, first thing, let's get on the other side of the Vegas wave. See if we can get a retracement. So question now is, can we put together a case scenario here that would support a pivot either here, where we sit here or close by? Well, it's a little tricky now. It requires you have to do the work to go through here and get that subdivision broken down. And it really, sometimes it's easier to work it backwards and just count your 5s and then the deepest retracements. How can they fit in? So if I go down to the 1 hour, which I had to do to get this count here, you know, here's so our first coming from that pivot here. So where we were, right? So here's the C of the B up here. So we get our 1. This is kind of some sort of a diagonal into a 1. Here's our 2. Then here's the impulse for the 3, 4, 5. So we've got to complete a 5-wave sequence there. So we do complete it. No question about it. Then here's the reaction. So it's relatively speaking, relative to the length of that 1, that's a very shallow 2. No quite. I don't even think we make the 23. Let's see. Do we make the 23 from that low? Yeah, we do make the 23. We don't make the 38. So again, we're in the very low percentage of wave 2s that would be that shallow on the retracement, yet you know, they do happen. There it is, right? So we've got a completed 5. We can't ignore that 5, so we have to label it. So this is the deepest reaction, deepest retracement we get upon completing that 5. So high probability this is our 2, albeit a shallow 2. So from that, I can go again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I complete down here for a 5. Maybe this is a bit of a, looks like it's A, B into the C for my 4. So I've got my 3rd in. So 1, 2, 3. I complete it here, A, B, C into my 4. Again, skinny, all right? It's a shallow retracement. This is a pretty relentless bear trend. Don't even make the 23. Right, so there it is, and then looks again. I can't ignore a completed 5 wave. It's got to be labeled. So there's a candidate now. Let's say it that way. So here's a candidate for our 3rd ABC into our 4, and now we're appear to be going down to complete yet again. So this would give us potentially now the 5 of the C wave of the larger degree. So as I see it, I don't know that I'd be anxiously looking to be a buyer down here upon this completion. I certainly would like to see evidence that we have a trend change. So if we're going to come down here and one of these levels we hit, I want to see some sort of a motive wave coming out of there. So give me something like this. Doesn't have to be substantial, but then give me this. That's the next buy right there. As far as I'm concerned, why try and pick the low? Just risk reward doesn't favor. I mean, certainly it's a huge upside, except there's no right. There've been plenty of times here where you could have been trying to pick the low and you just got taken out here. So let's wait. Let's get a nice, clean, clear motive wave coming off of a technical pivot, and then wait for the little ABC to correct it. There's your next, as far as I'm concerned, right? At least for me looking at this, that's where I'd be looking to be a buyer. I would wait until I got that kind of pattern. Then I'm looking for statistically significant levels for the retracement. So if we come up here and we're going here, we come right to the golden zone. There's a nice setup for the 2 going into the 3. Right? Otherwise, you know, yeah, sure, you can be a hero and try and pick the low, but I just don't. Why take the risk? There's just no reason to do it. This is a very, very, very strong downtrend. Again, why take the risk of that? There's just no reason to do it here. So if this were the low and we took a 62% retracement of that, pretty modest downside here. If pivot could be under the 786, I even got the 887 on here. So you could buy here between the 50 and the 618, stop on the 786 if it's going to go down again. If we're wrong here and this is going to have another leg, if we're going down again, we don't want to ride that down. I'd be fine just being out on the 786. I'd rather take the small loser. I have no problem pulling the trigger again if I get signs that it's starting to turn. Right? It certainly could be a good 2 down here at the 786. So my advice would be to just right. I know there's a lot of enthusiasm for this project, and likely to be long-term a winner. But as we sit right now, you know, why fight the trend? Well, it's as simple as that. There's just no reason to. Signs of a new trend starting. Give me a clean 5. Yeah, I'll buy that all day. All right, guys, that's not not much more to see there. It's just really, you know, it's just a very, very severe crypto bear. We're all dealing with it as we, you know, look for signs of any evidence of a turn. Right now, just certainly with this chart, it's just not there. There's no, I can't lipstick on a pig. I can't come up with any reason to be a buyer there, at least not yet. So that'll wrap it here. That's relatively short. It's just not a lot to see there. All right, so with that, I'll wrap here. Just a reminder, give us a follow on Twitter. Trade Devils, that's the handle. Lots of information over there. We've got this contest running where we're giving away free memberships. That can be worth taking a look at. And you can always learn more about our membership and the members Discord and things that we can offer to you as educators over on our website. That's tradedevils.com. All right, guys. Talk to you later.